Oh, we're talking business, man.
I don't know, well, I'm here.
All right. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Dustin with Dustin Labz CEO Podcast, and I'm joined by Joe and Joel from Massive Joe's. What's up, fellas?
How's it going?
What's going on, Dustin?
It's cool, guys. I'm still here.
Yeah, he's here as well.
I forgot about you, Austin. I had like somebody else on the show. Like, it's nice. Yeah.
We got a jam-packed room in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Joel and I like sitting on each other and shit.
Sitting on.
So we bring people in all the way from Australia, and they're talking about our couch, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, like, I'm not the biggest person in the world. I'm built like a stick, so I make that couch look big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's comfy though. I'll
It
give you
is.
that
It's
one.
very
It's a
comfy.
comfy couch.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I
We
appreciate
might actually
that.
pack
man.
this one up and put it on a pallet and take it back to Australia.
Spout it up.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Put a few products on there.
Yeah.
So for those guys that don't know and girls that don't know, you guys own pretty much the largest website in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the coolest website, obviously.
Yeah.
So can you guys tell us a little bit about how it started? You know, what's been successful for you? Just kind of a little backstory.
Absolutely. A little bit of a Kentucky tour because we'd be here for hours if I kind of told you guys the full story.
Sure.
But so the business kind of came about, when I was studying at university in Adelaide, which is the equivalent to college in the US, and I was studying mechanical engineering and law. So I was going to be at university for quite some time, and I knew that right at the start. So I used to play a lot of basketball when I was younger, come up through the state teams and the national team in Australia. And when I was 18, injured myself quite severely, my lower back. Did an injury that effectively ended anything I was going to do in basketball. So I took more of an interest in weight training, and I guess my competitive streak kind of came out, and started training for natural bodybuilding. So competed in natural bodybuilding, obviously took an interest in supplementation as a way of giving me a competitive edge over guys I was competing against. And at the time in Australia, supplements were not readily available. You know, the Australian brands that were creating them, were producing them were horrible. And no one was really importing any good products from the US. And this is the time, this is like in the age of BSN, NO Explode, Synthesix, Gold Standard Whey, back when those were, the cutting edge type products.
Oh, yeah.
So I started literally bringing products over for my own personal use. And at the time, bodybuilding wasn't big. It was kind of, very, very niche, more niche than it is now.
Sure.
But it kind of worked well for me because I was at university or college studying. I was training at the college gym. Guys at the gym knew me as the guy that was doing the bodybuilding. It was quite rare to have someone that was competing in bodybuilding. And so they took an interest in what I was doing. And, I'd come to the gym and drink a fizzy product. And during my workouts, I'd have, a colored drink while everyone else was drinking water. And post-workout, I'd throw down a shake. So they started asking me questions about it, and they were like, well, next time you bring over some product, can you bring me some? Get some in for me, and I'll pay you for it and whatnot. So I started importing commercial quantities of supplements from the US, selling them to the guys at the university gym. And that spread quite quickly to all of the other university gyms. And before I knew it, I was, importing pallet loads of supplements and selling them person to person at all the college gyms. And so, I thought to myself, I'd always played around with retailing online. I used to sell iPods when they first came out, and wristbands, Lance Armstrong wristbands and Livestrong bands when they were real popular. So I'd always dabbled in online retail. And at the time, I was 19 at the time, and I kind of put two and two together, and I was like, well, I'm selling this, so much of these supplements locally, person to person, and I know that there's the ability to retail things online. So I was like, well, I'm going to try sell supplements online. And so I started selling on eBay to start off with, before Massive Joe's even existed. Started an eBay store. And it just blew up, man. So, I was the first person to commercially import supplements from the US and then sell them online in Australia. Awesome. And that very quickly went from, selling on eBay to starting a website. Massive Joe's, the first version of Massive Joe's, which, if you go back and see it now, is it's quite a
bad, man. It's really bad.
But see, that's
Real
something
bad.
that you bring up. Like, we all can kind of go back to that time.
Yeah.
Back in the
Yeah.
going back and be like, God, that was just shit.
It's
Man.
horrible.
Yeah.
But at the
You
time,
laugh.
it was so good, right?
Yeah, it was
at
so
the time,
good.
I was like, shit, I got a website. This is
Yeah.
amazing. You can
Yeah.
buy shit. Well, the first version, you couldn't buy anything.
No, it's just-
it's just
Hey.
a,
It was
it's
just
information
there.
that would send you to the eBay store. But yeah, so then started the website and ran that. Pretty much I ran that part time while I was finishing my studies at
wow.
university. Ran that right up until I finished my mechanical engineering degree and my law degree as well.
Wow.
And then when I finished my studies, committed to Massive Joe's full time. Got into bricks and mortar retail as well. A couple of years later, got into wholesale distribution, and then the apparel line as well. So
So what's the time span of all that happened? What would be the time span?
Yeah, so I started back when I first started, like selling to guys person to person at the university gym was 2005. So
It's not really that long ago, if you think
No.
about it.
no, the big
And if,
scheme of
if,
things,
crazy.
no.
if you look at like when we actually got the first warehouse, that was only 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So 2011. The first retail store was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So 2013. So if you look at the growth of the business in the last 6 years,
Yeah.
it's been huge. It's
And
been
you guys
massive,
have
so-
9 stores now, right? Is what you're
9
telling me?
bricks and mortar retail stores.
Nine
Yeah, we're
brick-
working on number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you find the main difference between retail sales and online sales? Like, do you think there's a different clientele? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
absolutely. And this differs a lot between countries.
Okay.
If you're asking us in respect of Australia, we'll give you a different answer to what we see in the US, which is a different answer to what we see in the UK and
Sure.
Yeah.
and Asia as well. Australian consumers definitely prefer, I wouldn't say prefer, but definitely still caught up on the touch, feel, customer service
Yeah.
experience.
Okay.
They want to go into a retail store, have really good customer service, ask questions, pick up products, read labels, have that touch and feel experience.
Yeah.
And in Australia, online retail, I was reading a report, I was showing the report to you from one of our big banks in Australia, National Australia Bank, that produces this report on online retail every quarter.
Okay.
And online retail as a total percentage of total retail in Australia is still less than 3%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's very, very
If you
small.
compare that to what it's like in the US, I
Yeah.
wouldn't
Yeah.
know the figures, but it'd be
Yeah.
a hell of a lot higher than that.
Oh,
As
yeah.
we were talking about before, Amazon can have a product to you in half an hour.
Yeah.
Well, Amazon's literally, I think it's 45% of the total online business is through Amazon.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
It's just
So that's
ridiculous.
yeah. It's I guess it's slowly changing in Australia, but yeah, the Australian consumer just wants to touch things. They want to look
Okay.
at labels. They want to have something in their hand before they commit to buying it.
That's
Whereas
interesting.
yeah, it's definitely a different clientele.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which that's almost where we're heading with one of our new products. Kind of going back to that.
Oh, which one are you talking about?
EGOT.
Oh, yeah. So we're coming out with a product called eGuy, which is, we were talking about earlier about the gamers and esports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is one we're marketing toward. It's like the Demon Dust where you just pop it and go. So it's kind of getting away from the energy drinks, getting away from the sugar. Just take this and you're good to go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And it's more of a, like the packaging's more, touch and feel. It's got the box around it,
Yeah.
all that kind of.
It's
Real
def-
showcase.
Yeah, it's definitely centered more around the experience of the product itself, and like
Yeah.
actually, the tangible feeling and everything like that, which it seems like
Yeah.
everybody actually still seems to value.
Yeah.
And that is making a I mean, I don't want to say it's making a comeback per se, but I feel like that specific niche, I think that attribute's real strong still, just
Yeah.
for this specific.
There's
There's always
always-
going to be that niche.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was about to say, there's always going to be that person that wants to come in and touch and feel a product and see what it is. There's always those people that are conscious about the size of a t-shirt, for example,
Right.
and they're not sure if the size is going to fit them, or they know their shoe size, but they want to buy shoes from a shoe store. They want to try them on first.
Right.
Rather than just going to Eastbay or Foot Locker or whatever and just go, right, I'm a
Sure.
size 12, I'll grab a size 12. They want to make sure they get the right product.
They want to see what it looks like and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Rather than
No,
just
that makes sense.
yeah.
But back to your initial question, we kind of gone off track a little
No,
bit.
sorry.
Yeah.
But I think the online consumer, and this is what we focus on in our business, is the online consumer is really concerned more about price, convenience, and usability of a website. So
Yeah.
the prices have to be the best possible prices because it's very easy to shop around online. Obviously, you can have multiple tabs open with the exact same product and see who's got the best price. And a lot of the third-party websites, eBay and Amazon, are kind of targeted towards best price. And it has to be convenient, so you have to be able to deliver quite quickly, and the website needs to be easy to use. We've all shopped online. Nothing's worse than a website. We have to go through 5 different checkout pages, enter your details 2 or 3 times, and then take you to a payment thing.
Oh, it's a pain in the ass.
It's a massive pain in the ass. So I think that the online consumer or a consumer when they're purchasing online, it's really about those 3 things. Whereas when a consumer is purchasing in store, it's really about the customer experience. So it comes down to really good customer service. It comes down to a really nice, neat, clean store layout. Products are easy to find, and really, developing that experience for the customer. So I think, depending on whether you're shopping online or in store, you kind of look for different things.
So what would you guys tell like a young entrepreneur if they were trying to, like right now it's that kind of, like in the US it's like, well, do I go online or do I go retail? It's kind of, you gotta pick one.
Yeah, you do.
What would you guys say to, you mentioned like price, the prices really matter online versus retail is more of the experience.
Correct.
What would you tell a young entrepreneur that has a product that is needed in the marketplace, right? But they don't know where to go? Like, what would you say? How would you answer that if you had to pick one? Just curious.
I'd still go online, man.
Yeah.
I think it's just the way of the future. I think if you went to the retail or bricks and mortar, you're going to have to go online anyway. I'd start with the online because it's going to give you more presence. If you're online with a product that you're about to bring out, you could touch so many people with just a YouTube clip. With an Instagram clip, it could go viral and you could reach 100,000 people. Whereas if you open up a shop, just down the road here, you can touch 20 or 30,000 people. It's not going to get out to say New York or LA or even overseas to Sydney. Whereas if you go online and then start with your social media or digital marketing type stuff, you can touch the whole world with the click of a button. So that's where I go. You go to that online platform and then work your way out from there. And that's where I definitely start.
Yeah, that's true. And we saw their social media presence, and like you have some like kind of funny stuff on there, which I like. I like. I'm a goofball, so I like to have fun. Austin likes to have fun. What do you guys think? Like what's the key to y'all success on social media? Is it that? Is it just kind of being a little different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you have to be different, but you still have to give good content at the same time. There's nothing wrong with having that goofball stuff, but you need to have the good content that people want to see as well. So it's really like I guess finding that happy medium where you have the funny stuff that people find hilarious, but then you have the good content where people read it and go, shit, I've learned something.
I always say that everything that we try and do with the online content side of things is a mixture of entertainment and information.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if you can get that balance right, especially in this industry, it's not all about the entertainment side of things. Like people are putting things inside their bodies and they're trying to elicit a certain effect. So there's the information aspect to it as well. We're not in the entertainment business, unfortunately. But you have to try and find the right balance because at the same time you don't want to go too far towards the information side because no one wants to sit through a college lecture.
Exactly.
They want it to be fun as well. And it's a fun industry.
You can have the best information out there, but it's being delivered boring as shit. People are going to watch 2 minutes and go, see you later, I'll go find a video that's going to give me the same information. So you have to find that balance definitely. And even if it is quirky, I know when Joe, for example, started doing his raw review videos and the intro was terrible. I was like, dude, I was like, man, you've got to change that. It's annoying the hell out of me.
What is it now? What is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Now it's
no, I want to hear this. What is it?
Yeah. So I come in with a woo! Hey guys, what's going on? It's Massive Joe's raw review.
That's good.
Yeah. See, I hate it.
Massive Joe's.
Why do you hate it? Like,
I don't know. Like, it was just, it was like, man, but it's worked so well. Some people will still hate it, but they'll still talk about it. So that comes back to that old thing, whereas no publicity is good, or publicity is good publicity sort of thing. But you have to stick to it. You have to make sure you go, nah, this is what I'm sticking to, and you have to be outside the box a little bit. Otherwise, it's just the same stuff, and you see it now that YouTube and social media started to pick up that people are going, all right, I've got to start reviewing products. But they get the product and they just start reading, it's got 2 grams of agmatine. It's
boring, man.
And it's like, dude, it's like, come on, give me something,
Dude,
like,
we can speak on that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone can do that.
Man, the second he mentioned the entertainment but information,
Yeah.
man, to me, we struggled with that for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, I think we're pulling ourselves out of it now.
Yeah.
And very recently at that, because while we were here originally, when we were first in this house, we definitely swayed way too far with information. We had green screen dragons, green screen raptors, things that didn't even make sense for supplements, and they were in our videos.
Yeah.
And then at about that time is when I killed the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I kind of tanked it. That'd be my fault. But now we're coming back on the come up. We've gone to about 1,000 subscribers, and it's a happy medium right now. It really is, and it's getting better. It is getting better.
I think I've noticed on Facebook the like little tidbits of like the 5-second to 10-second funny little clip with information just does kill it, man.
Yeah.
Like if you can find that right spot,
It's
like even with the raw or whatever, like it works, man.
Yeah. Well, people want it. They're automatically engaged. So it's almost like going fishing. You just throw it out there, and they'll bite on something like that. You go, well, I want to know what that video is. So they click on it, they check out the whole, and then all of a sudden they're hooked. They need to watch the whole thing.
They're either entertained or annoyed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm annoyed anyway, so I want to get on there and make a bad comment. So they're going to watch it anyway. So, yeah. It's just about finding that happy medium, and I think that's what some people make the mistake of doing. Is it's either they're all entertainment or they're all information. Not getting that middle ground there.
I agree with that. And that's a lot of the comments we get from the show is, how do I market? What do I do? How do I make it interesting? And just a lot of it is trial and error, like failing, and then just getting back up and learning from the failures. We have to say it time and time again, but you guys know as well as I do, like that's the key, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And and also, like you said, learning from your failures is a big thing. But you have to just keep evolving with it as well. And you stick to I guess your niche that you're doing, but also if you feel like it's not really working, you've got to keep trying something until it does work. You're never going to be perfect from the start.
Yeah, you can't be afraid to change it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Have a good time, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think the most fun part of doing the content is? Do you enjoy doing the content?
Love it.
Yeah.
I wish I had more time to do more.
I do, man.
Yeah,
Me too.
I love it. Yeah, and that's the other thing is too. People want to get especially in the supplement market, they want to get products explained to them in language they understand.
Yeah.
They don't want to have all this scientific crap where they go, I don't know what this guy's talking about. So really laying it down into I guess a language that people can understand is really, really important when you're doing anything. So you don't want people to walk away and go, oh, that guy's too smart for me. I can't watch that anymore.
Right.
You want to think, you're just on their level. So you break it down into, be smart enough so that you're giving them the right information, but also break it down to where they understand it.
It almost feels like the guy's an asshole when they're trying to, like this molecule and that molecule.
Yeah,
they're trying to be smarter than you are.
It's like, dude, I don't have a PhD.
Yeah.
It's like, don't treat me like a university lecturer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say, who's good at that? That'd be Hayden.
Oh my God, yeah.
Actually, Hayden specifically DM'd us to let us know. He loves you guys, by the way.
Oh,
just letting you know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hayden.
Appreciate that. Yeah, our number one ambassador. Well, actually, he works with us now. We just hired him.
He goes, oh, you're meeting with Bass and Joe's. They're amazing, man.
Yeah,
that's
awesome.
But that's somebody that learned the happy medium. They went from information and entertainment, and then meshed the two in a perfect concise line. And he went from 0 to 20+K people on Instagram. He was leveraging the 1 minute long videos on Instagram. And same thing with Snapchat, Twitter. I don't know about Facebook, but
it's important. And he got in at the right time and grew it. And that's something we stress to everybody. It's like, if you're going to get on social media and you're going to do it, the time is now. Do it. The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be.
Well, the time was yesterday.
The time was 3-4 years ago, right?
And you know what? Speaking of that, what is one thing that we actually always do? Specifically, I'm not going to say bad about it, but it's a good thing. I'll be, it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning, and Dustin will send me a screenshot of this new app that's been on the store for maybe 30 minutes. He's like, dude, I think we need to get on this.
Man.
Man.
You do, man. You need to look at what the next big thing is, what was, Facebook's been around now for nearly 10 years now, wasn't it?
Over 10 years.
Yeah, and you need to look at what the next big thing's going to be, and try and get ahead of the curve a little bit and go, right, well, you can get on there and start, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You've wasted a little bit of time, but who cares? But, it could pay off to where you're ahead of everyone else.
We'll just let you guys know if you guys want to get on there, Peach, not the one.
Yeah, don't
Right.
not the one. Put time on it, not good.
Does not work out for
Write that down. Right.
So if you see Peach pop up, just move on.
Amazon's actually their new one.
Yeah, Amazon do you know about their new one?
No.
Oh, yeah, so we got on it literally the day it happened. What's it called?
Is it Spark?
Yeah, Spark. It's called Amazon Spark, and it's a way you should look into it. It's probably gonna be pretty big if it's Amazon, but it's like a way to push your products and stuff like that.
Everything they touch just turns to gold at the moment. So
you gotta give it to them, man.
Yeah, man.
That's big.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Monster ordeal. I heard about that earlier, and that kind of fascinated me. Like, you guys are here in the States, and like there's like all these Monster energy drinks, but in Australia there's only like 2, right?
Yeah. We bum out in Australia, man. We get like half the products that you guys do.
Yeah.
So there's like if you look, we only drink the sugar-free Monsters because we're health conscious people. We don't want all the sugar and shit.
Yeah.
But, there's like 6 or 7 different flavors here in the US.
Different colors.
Well, they're not flavors, they're colors.
And colors make it
different colors.
Right? Yeah.
There's 2 in Australia, and that's it. So there's a white and the purple.
Yeah.
Which isn't the new ultraviolet, it's the darker can. When we come over here, we're like, we have to try all these different colours because we're not going to try them for another 12 months.
Yeah.
Right.
So we literally just drink different ones every single day to get the different colours.
So does the normal one that's in the black bottle with the green, does it taste the same in Australia, or is it different?
Yeah. They all taste the same.
Oh,
yeah. They're all exactly. It's just
we just don't have the range that you guys have. So we're like kids in candy stores.
No shit. It's the first thing we did when we got here. So we got into LA like in the start of September, and we went straight to a convenience store and got a Monster. It's like, man, which one am I gonna have? You're like you said, a kid in a candy store trying to pick out. And the guy behind the cash register is like, dude, what are these idiots doing? Because
they must be from Australia.
We were out, vlogging it, and they're like, man, what are these stupid idiots doing? But we were excited.
Oh, it's always fun to go into a store and like buy like random things and be vlogging like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
All right. Do you even want to tell them about it, or do we just let this go by the wayside?
We just move on.
We'll tell you afterwards, because now you're going to want to know.
We want to know now.
You want to know now?
Yeah. All right, just tell everyone.
All right, so we had a side venture. Again, it was a YouTube channel, so it was solely for entertainment purposes. However, we had to go and purchase props for said show. Now, the 2 characters on this show, of course, are like far left field out there, very unique individuals per se. And of course, Dustin tasked me with checking out with these items after we put them into a cart. So we're like a secondhand retail store. We've loaded this car with everything, follow me here, so from condoms to STD tests, douches, there was some lube in there, hunting gear, so we had like the full-on like hunting shirts, even boots. There was so much random shit, even a boat seat. A seat to a boat. I don't know why we picked it up. But when we get up there to check out, it just so happens that I worked at this place the year that they opened, and the lady checking us out is the sweetest, most like heavenly little Christian lady ever. And last time she saw me, I was probably like 16 years old. And I come through the line, and she gets to the items that are, that are normal. But then she gets to the back of the line and immediately just kind of stops and pauses and looks at me and gives me that look of like, I'm going to pray for you. So Dustin's sitting here with the camera and he's just like, yeah, get the douche, that one right there. And just saying these things just so she'll hear it, just so it gets at me. It's like, oh, those are nice. And that's when she picks up a box of Magnums. He's like, oh, we're gonna, need those. And then at the end of it, she won't even look me in the eyes.
Oh, yeah, she was just straight looking down, just like, all right, have a nice day.
A vlog that turned into the most embarrassing experience in a while.
It sounds like just a standard Saturday night in Arkansas, right?
Man, I think it was like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was like church and I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah. But, that was something else.
So that's our story. You gotta have something like that, right? Like some kind of crazy story.
Or they think we're just excessively weird now.
Yeah, no, it's like,
man, look, it's perfectly fine, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
We have all the stories. Every time we come and do one of these tours, we have something new.
Yeah.
I think probably the best one, I was telling the story the other night, was when we hit a cop car in Vegas.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that was on the YouTube channel. You guys can go and check it out as well.
Yeah.
So,
Recorded this?
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, shit.
Yeah. See, of course we had to record it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not every day you
don't
hit a cop
turn the
car in
camera
Vegas.
Right.
But it was 2013, 2014, I can't remember. You weren't with me though.
I wasn't there, Steve was there.
I was with Neve. And so what we used to do with this tour is we used to fly straight into the US and go straight to the Olympia, so the Olympia was like the first stop. And then we'd go like 2 weeks after the Olympia and do all stuff like this and all the other bits and pieces. Now we reverse it, so the Olympia is the last stop. But back then, so the Olympia was the first stop. And so in Australia, we drive on the other side of the road. So we drive on the left-hand side of the road and the car steering wheel is on the right-hand side of the car. So here in the US, it's back to front.
completely backwards.
Completely backwards.
Yeah.
So we've flown in, first stop is Vegas. So we've flown in on Saturday morning, Vegas Saturday night, spent the whole day at the Olympia. So I'm driving, first day driving in the US, having not driven in the US for 12 months. Driving down the street in Vegas, went to go do a left turn, so I'm on the right hand side of the road, went to go do a left U-turn to go back in the other direction.
Okay.
And so I've checked my mirrors obviously, but I'm not used to checking over my left shoulder to see if there's a car in my blind spot. Because in Australia it's back to front, so I check over my right shoulder. Check over my right shoulder, Steve's right next to me, so that didn't do me any good.
Right.
So I've turned left and I've gone straight into a car, and I'm like, oh shit.
This is a rental.
This is a rental car. Yeah, of course. I've gone, shit, I've hit a car. And then immediately, blue and white flashing lights. I'm like, fuck, the cops got here quick. And I've turned around and I've gone, you've got to be kidding me. I've hit a police car.
In the middle of Vegas.
In the middle of Vegas on Saturday night at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I quickly discovered that when you hit a police car here in the US, police swarm on that because they think that they team up and they think why are you attacking police officers?
Yeah.
So within about a minute there would have been probably 20 police officers down in Las Vegas on this road, motorbikes, paddy wagons, cars, flashing lights, shotguns out. I'm like, oh my god, what have I done? And that was our introduction to that.
They
tour.
basically just put it down to you're a bunch of stupid Australians.
Yeah, I said to the
Drug
guys,
testing.
I said, look, I'm not. They were like, have you been drinking? Have you been taking drugs? Obviously in Vegas on Saturday night. I'm like, look, no, I literally got off a plane this morning.
Yeah.
I get for the Mr. Olympia. I'm used to driving on the other side of the road. I didn't check my blind spot. Accident, complete accident. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the more.
That's definitely one of the best ones. Not many people run into a cop car.
I would be freaking out if I was in Australia and ran into a cop car.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen, man?
Yeah, no, they probably just say, you stupid Americans.
Dumb
and that's
American.
it.
Yeah.
Over here, though, they take things a little bit more seriously with the law enforcement. So, the guns
I've heard
are
that before.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a fair bit for an Australian cop to pull a gun, whereas you guys just love doing it. So
I don't know what's up with that.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's just not right.
Even our local police have like militarized vehicles,
They're just like walking around like
Humvees and like half tracks. I'm like, for what?
Yeah. Just in case they want to run through your house or something.
Yeah, it's pretty scary sometimes. But look, man, we appreciate you being on the show.
Yeah,
Pretty much it. I
us.
know you guys are only here for so long, so and you flew a long way just to come see us. So.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not every day you get to come to Arkansas, so it's
never been it. Like,
no, I never have.
Well, we flew into Springfield, and the first thing I said, we were driving out of Springfield, and I was like, man, you know what the coolest thing is? And you were like half asleep, you couldn't give a shit about it. I'm going to tell it anyway. I'm like, this is my 9th trip to the US. I've been to the US 9 times back, over the years. And I was like, I've been to the US 9 times. I've been like everywhere. I've been, West Coast, East Coast, North, South, everywhere, Midwest. I've never been to Arkansas before. This is my first time to Arkansas.
He was all excited about it.
I was like, and he was like, so? I'm like, well, isn't that cool? Like, where this business has taken us is, all over the world to places that we would otherwise never come to.
Dude, it truly is amazing if you think about it. Like, we're in Arkansas, you're from Australia, that's like, it's nuts, man.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But it's it's exciting at the same time. You get to. Not many people tick it off their bucket list. They've flown into Missouri, not Arkansas as well. So
everything goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you guys.
I'm Dustin.
I'm whoa! I got to say, I'm Austin. I actually got to introduce myself there.
Yeah.
Outro, deuce.
Good job.
I launched it. I'm done.